Welcome to Murfreesboro, Stones River. Not the same one as in the other videos. These videos will be titled, I believe, Murfreesboro, and I titled the other ones that you're going to be seeing as Stones River. So we are 2 turns into the first scenario in the Civil War Brigade series, No Better Place to Die, the Battle of Murfreesboro, December 30th to January 2nd, 1863. Okay, let's pull back a little bit here so we get the picture first. So both sides were intending to flank attack each other, but neither one of them knew the other was going to do it. Now you can see the Stones River here, and we know that the Confederates were basically along this line here, protecting the pike and the rail line back to whatever that is back there. Is it Murfreesboro? Or is Murfreesboro that way? So I don't know much about it. And I lived in Tennessee for a while. And then Breckenridge was still on the other side of the river over here. But we're just playing the early morning dawn strike where Hardees Corp struck the left side, got the jump, and literally just caved in the right flank of the Union line, which was McCook's right wing, okay? Caught these guys completely off guard. It's funny, because you think that, was it Rosecrans, I guess, he was setting up for his attack too. So they got shattered. Rosecrans decided that, he was going to be sacrificing these 2 divisions over here, forcing them pretty much to fight even though they were just trashed, I guess is the way to look at it. And then Sheridan, along with them, in order to give him time to shift units so that they can get in a better position for the defense or maybe even their attack. That's just a basic understanding. I've never read much about Murfreesboro, but I probably need to just to figure out some more. But I do know the basis of this. So Hardee struck with 2 divisions, Cleburne's and McCown's. And let me tell you something. I played 2 turns. Look at here. Route. He was routed, got lucky, rolled a 1, and there's a leader in there with him. And there's an artillery battery under there with him. So they had 3 routed brigades and an artillery unit. And, of course, the Confederates have 1 routed. I think that's Raines's brigade from McCown's division. So the orders for the Union, which are going to probably have to change now, were to have a line, which this guy should be, I think, here, between this hex row and the Franklin Road, a continuous line. It means no gaps. All right? Well, I was able to somewhat get them up in there on the first turn. But the first turn initiative goes to the Confederates, and their movement to show the surprise they created, their movement is doubled. So infantry was 6, was able to move 12. So you treated it just like a normal movement, whether they were in line or in column, which these guys were in line. But you got to use 12 movement points instead of 6. So they were right up in the blue coats' faces on the first turn, and the battle was just raging right off the bat. Now, the Yanks held themselves together on the first turn, and then on the second turn, a little close combat going on, and some little more massive firepower from the Confederates, and the Union had some too. But they had a brigade here, this L Brigade, which is Liddell. Liddell swung around the left flank here and really put the Union in jeopardy there. And you can see all the disturbances caused. Now, some of the things that I have with this scenario, or with these game rules, is you cannot move voluntarily out of an enemy zone of control into another enemy zone of control. All right? You can be chased out in combat, and if you go through an enemy zone of control on your way out, any zones of control you pass through, they can shoot at you. Okay? So, now here's one of the other things I'm doing, because I can't find any specifics about it. You've got an AB unit, an AB unit. Let's say in fire combat, he gets reduced to an A, okay? Well, you would collapse the extended line in that. Well, I had a situation because this extended line and this guy here, he was a B, he was an A. And they were up in this gap right here with all these zone of controls. Well, he needed to, he took fire, and it would have reduced the unit to an A. But I won't collapse that because that's kind of unfair. When he's sitting in here, he's not going to be able to escape. All right? Well, I'm sorry. This guy took a loss in here. Well, I wasn't going to collapse him, so you could collapse extended lines pretty much at any time, from what I understand. But I want to say, I always thought for some reason it was during their movement phase, or if they routed or something like that. So I thought it'd be better we reduce this guy to a B. So since he's an A unit now, they both became Bs, because it's kind of unfair that you're shooting at this part of the line down here. He takes enough loss to reduce their strength level for this guy to just sort of disappear. Now these guys have another shootout. I thought that was kind of odd, because it's not like the line, this guy gets shot and he loses. They're just going to real quick. Maybe they did, but in the face of combat, they might not have been able to. And I would think it better that these guys over here on this side, they would have extended, stretched themselves a little thin. Anyhow, that's the way I'm playing it, because I kind of think it's an unfair advantage when you do that. Units can sort of escape combat that way when they should probably just get shot up. And since all of the fighting is in reality going on simultaneously in these 30-minute turns, so that's the way. If you have another approach to this, or I'm missing something specific in the rules that kind of actually covers that, which I've been reading Zone of Control Effect, Extended Line, stuff like that, I can't find it. All right. I do know that if a unit routes, you collapse everything and they all route as one thing together. So, and that's what happened down here. But here we go. We're 2 turns in. This is only a 5-turn scenario. 1, 2, we're going to start the third turn. And the Confederates need to drive to, so here's their approach. They need to clear the woods here and then drive down the Gresham Lane and take position on the other side of the Wilkerson Pike. Okay. And I'm not so sure if they're going to get that far. It could be wrong. They might, because they're shattering the Union line right now. And they're taking a little bit of a beating themselves too. But I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to push as hard as we can. These woods are going to slow movement up if they don't get out of here real quick. All right. That's 2 turns in. The Dawn attack from No Better Place to Die, the Civil War Brigade system from the Gamers. See you soon.